Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. So we are here for another installment of a Chris-ify layout. So I did this once before, a couple months ago, and everybody loved it. So I thought we would play around with it again. And I saw lots of questions about how they did something, and so I thought this isn't going to be exact because I wanted to do a few things differently. But I'm gonna add my desk on here so you can see what I'm gonna start with. So if you have not checked out the new promotions from Close to My Heart, there's a new promotion called Melon Mania, and so I'm just going to show you some of the things first. So it is all things melon are on sale. So I'm not really sure why it's so dark on my desk, which is crazy because there are literally so many lights down on my desk at the moment. Let's see if I do this, if it's a little bit better. I can turn on another light, but it is actually crazy how dark that is. Let's see if this helps. Okay, so here are some of the details about the Melon Mania special. I'm just gonna slide this. Waiting for your bundle to arrive. Yes, so it's basically they take everything from the color of the year and they put it on sale. So there is so this is the bundle, and in Canada our bundle is $51.25 on sale from $64.75, and it includes the Melon Mania paper and sticker sheets, the coordinating cardstock, a stamp set, which is right here in the bundle, and you can see them all broken out here. You can also order the things individually. Hey Sarah, you can order them individually, like the paper, the stamp set, the paper with the sticker sheet. Then there is super fun coordinating cardstock. So I actually have some here. I've already cut into it for a different project, but I thought I would show it to you. So it does come with just regular melon cardstock in it, but there's also these fun specialty pieces, and you won't be able to see some of it because it's UV coated, but oh, maybe the light will catch it. So there are pieces that are just melon, and so I think there's 6 pieces that are just like the plain melon, and then these ones. So there's this one with the silver flower, the silver stripe. This has UV graft pattern on it, so you can see it in the light. It's super pretty. You could also add ink onto it and you get like that resist going on. This is fun. So this one is gold. This one's gold and these two are silver, and then there's another one that's UV enhanced with just like they're like little boxes. So it's super pretty. There is the stamp set, which we're also going to play with today. There is the paper and sticker sheet. So here's the sticker sheet because I might use some of the stickers. So there's so many stickers on here. There's like some border stickers, some title stickers. You can see I've already been messing around with this. There's all these fun pennant stickers, and then the little pieces that look like washi tape are super cute. So, and then lots of these stickers have that UV coating on them too, so you can see them kind of shine in the lights. And then it also picks up some of the patterns of the paper. So I have cut out some pieces already so that we at least have a general direction we're going to go from. So this, where did it go? This is kind of our starting point. So this is one of the photos and all the advertising and good morning. And so I wanted to take it, I'm going to switch it up a little bit There are some things I liked about the layout and some things I'm going to do differently. And I'll talk to you about why I'm going to do them differently as we go. But I'm going to just set that sticker sheet aside. So they have some flowers on here. And I decided instead of playing around in Cricut, I wanted to just cut with my die cutting machine. So you guys all know I loved the layer and still do. And it's still available. The layered flowers thin cut. So I have cut some flowers that I think I'm going to use on here for the layout. They also use, and I liked the Slimline Shaker window. So they've used this inside panel because so two things I love about it. It's got a little scallop border, and how can you not love something with a scallop border? It's just stinking cute. And then it's got a stitch line. So, and you all know I'm a sucker for a stitch line. So I totally picked up that element. So here are some of the things. We're going to do some stamping. I did do some pre-stamping to play around with it to decide which features I wanted. But look at this cute stamp. It's got so many neat little things on it. So there's some fun borders here, right? And then there's a plate that you could use for a card, or we're going to use it as the title on the scrapbooking layout because I did pick up like that element off the layout. And then there's tons of just little fun icons and stuff, which is always great for a stamp set. Like I look for things, right, that I could add in little spots, all those kind of fun things. Sorry about that super loud airplane. I am not in charge of the airplanes, and it's finally cooled off here, so I was dying to have my windows open. It's actually like warm enough now that my air conditioning is also kicking in, so that is not ideal. But sorry, I thought I grabbed the melon shimmer brush. Okay, but I don't see my melon one, so we're going to use peach. So like I said, I just have kind of a general idea of some of the things I wanted to change and some of the things I wanted to keep the same. They have one photo on here, and I'm going to add 2 photos onto my layout. And then I wanted to play with the fun flowers, like I said, the thin cuts. And so I cut them out of pattern paper and cardstock. And then I'm going to also add in some of the glitter paper in melon. And so like I said, I'll tell you the things I've changed up as we go. And some of the things I'm going to leave the same. So I'm just going to move the things aside so we can get started. The peach shimmer brush will be fine. So I'm going to do some splattering with it. And okay, let me just make sure I am in the right spot, and I am. Awesome. Okay, so now I can actually see things on my desktop. So the other thing I did want to address is because I've been getting lots of questions as to whether there will be a workshop for Melon Mania, and yes, there will be. It's coming. I just sent it off to the proofer just right before this. So I'm going to add a 3x3 photo. This one right here. This is going to be one of my photos. And then I have a 4x4 photo that's going to go here. I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to put a white border on my photographs. But those are my photos. So we'll leave those up here. Okay. So I did like the little zip strip across the bottom here. So we're going to have the melon on the bottom with cardstock. And then I cut the white daisy at 11.5 by 11.5. And we're going to keep that the same. And then I thought the zip strip was really cute. But if you want to do it with differently, you could do it with this stamp set right here. Like if you wanted to play with different colors and do the layout in a completely different color palette, you could use this border stamp right here and like create your own zip strip. was my thoughts. I'm not going to use the border sticker they have across the bottom because I'm going to add some glitter paper to it, and so I'm going to add that at the bottom to bring in the glitter paper on the other spots. So I have pre-cut some flowers. We're going to decide as we go what we're going to use. This is just a little circle I have from another project that I was working on. We're going to see if that's going to go in there or not. And then I have some flowers, and so at first when I was playing with the flowers, I was just playing with like cardstock, and then I thought, oh, they would look super cute, good morning, with like some of the pattern paper layers. So I cut some of the layers from the pattern paper, and I think they're going to be really sweet on here. Okay, the little branches with the leaves are from a thin cut that's coming in the July-August idea book. But if you did album retreat, you got it early. So I have it early, so I'm going to use those. But in this thin cut, I know they are so cute, cut out of the pattern paper. And I'm a sucker for gingham too. Gingham and dots are like totally cute. So I am going to use these. But like I said, there is a leaf that is involved with those flowers. So if you wanted to use that, you could. All my centers of my flowers I cut out from the glitter cardstock, which I think is going to be really pretty. And then, like I said, we're going to use this, which is that stamp set that's from here. Here's just another flower. Okay, so I also, like I said, loved the idea of these down the page to kind of build our background, but we're going to do some inking on here first, so I'm going to move them out of the way. But so I have one gingham, one dot. This is the ombre paper, which on the other side has, so these two are fronts and backs. So I have one of each of those, one of the gingham paper, which has the floral on the back, and then this one is the ombre, and then it's got this really bold stripe on the back. I could show you that piece of paper later. But first we're going to do some ink blending. So I'm going to add some ink to my white daisy. I'm going to try and keep something here so that the camera focuses on it for a few seconds. I've got my, like I said, I've got my full-size piece of melon. I'm just going to set that aside for a second. I have my all-purpose mat here, just so that I don't get ink all over my table. And lots of times when I'm trying to decide if I see something that I like, but I kind of know that I want to alter it. So for example, like I said, I knew I wanted to use the flower die cuts. I just played around with them. So this is the stamp. So we're going to add some of those on here too. And I just, I did this earlier so that the ink would have time to dry. But I stamped it with intense black. And then I flipped my stamp over and then I colored it. And so I did first and second generation, just playing around with it. When we get to that point, if you remind me, I'll stamp some of them. So, but like I cut a whole pile of flowers just playing around with them to see what kind of flowers I was going to like and I was going to use. And then I'll just throw them back into the pocket with the thin cut. So, okay, I think we're ready to go. So I have my melon ink and I'm going to do 2 big spots of inking because these are the 2 spots that I'm going to put my clusters. And then as far as the visual triangle goes, this is going to be my 3rd one. I'm going to enlarge this because I think they just use stickers, the little stickers for these. So right here, these little pieces, but I want more weight on it up in that corner so that I think it'll draw better attention to the photographs on the layout. So I'm going to use paper and glitter paper. So I'm going to open my ink and I just have my blending brush. I'm just tapping off in my lid just so that I don't get like a crazy splot of ink. But also I know that this part is all going to be covered up. So if I wanted to, I can start in here And then I don't worry so much about like a darker spot, and I can decide how much I want to build it up. So like I said, I'm pulling some of the things off of this and then changing some of the things. So I'm going to have a spot there. And if I need to just kind of look at my sizing, I think I'm going to come over a little bit more. So this is the perfect time to stock up on all things melon. So, and I know I want some over here. And I know the ink blending looks awful on camera. And good morning from New Zealand. And I don't know why that is. I guess it's just the way it picks up the contrast. But it's actually so pretty in real life. So I'm gonna just add a little bit more, and I'll just pull in my little piece again, so that, and I think I want more out this way. So it kind of just breaks up the stark like white background a little bit. And I actually don't think they did do ink blending, but they could have. But I thought it just kind of gave it a nice place for the papers to kind of rest. Okay, we're going to stop there. I think that's going to be good enough. Okay, I'm just going to set my ink over here. If we need it again, we can bring it back in. Okay, and this is my peach one, but I think it'll be close enough because I don't see where my, I don't see where my melon brush is right this moment. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit down on my all-purpose mat, and I probably have way too much there. And I'm just gonna splatter. And kind of the peach is nice because at least I know I've got like a nice contrast. My melon paper order arrives next week. Looking forward to creating this layout, and I have the perfect photos for it. Awesome. And actually I did not have, so I've just splattered in both spots, and I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to though wipe up that shimmer brush because I will get it all over my layout if I'm not careful. Because there's also so much white on the layout, and I actually think when they pick a color of the year, they try and pick a color that will go with a lot of things, a lot of other colors. So like colors look good with it. So also lots of photos should actually look good with the paper. Okay, let's get my Versamat, and I'll switch that out. Pull out my all-purpose mat there. We're just going to give this a few seconds to dry. And I'll pull this out of the way. It's funny that you have to be careful that sticky side gets stuck to stuff. Okay, so maybe while we're giving this a few seconds to dry, I'll just show you how I did that stamping. So for the name, the like title plate or whatever you want to call it, I did second generation stamping. So that's not big enough. I'll just throw my foam under here. We won't get the best. so I went like this. So you could see there's first generation. So I stamped it once and then stamped it twice. And so I used the lighter one, and I seem to have an air bubble. So if that happens, just make sure you have good contact. I can see them underneath. Let's see if that's better now. So, much better. 1, 2, and so you get that nice light image. And so that's what I used for my title. And then I did melon in full strength. And the little "You're one Anna" on top of it. You could also, if you like the darker, you could do it in black, like the melon in black instead of the light color. It does totally stand out on this one, and then I just fussy cut around it. You could also put it on like a thin cut if you prefer. And then for the little flowers that I've stamped, I'm going to fussy cut those out. But this is exactly what I did. So I got lots going on my desk here. But I stamped them in black. I also think I'm going to use this cute little heart with the polka dots because it's super cute. Not too cute, I think, not to use it. So I just stamped a few flowers like this. And then I flipped it over. You could totally color it with like your ordering my bundle today. Thanks for sharing. So then when this is dry, like I've cleaned it, I flip it over, and it's not dry, but we're going to see if it'll stick. So then I just took the back side to color it in, and I did some first generation and some second generation, depending, right? And just like that. So that's how I did the little flowers. And then obviously you can see the difference here, right? Because these ones I did yesterday, so they've dried. So they will dry and lighten up. So those are the parts and pieces that I stamped. And like I said, I wanted to do that beforehand so that they would be dry and I would be ready to go. So I think we are good to attach this to the background. So I'm going to add my adhesive to the back. And then I think I said already, but I did cut it at 11.5 by 11.5 so that I have that little border. Oh, but I'm going to not do that just yet. I'm going to put that zip strip down first so I can trim it off easier. So like I said, I'm going to use the zip strip. I'm going to add adhesive to it, and then I can trim it off easily from the back. So, because this is just the 12-inch length. There we go. And then, like I said, I'm going to add the glitter paper So I have, this is just like a 1/4 of an inch piece. And it was a piece that I already had an adhesive sheet on. So it should stick. So I just need to pull my backing off. I quite often, especially with the glitter paper, I'll just add adhesive sheet to a certain like 6-inch section or whatever, and then just when I cut out stuff I don't have to worry about it sticking. So I'm just going to add this across the top, and you know what, it's not a 12-inch length. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold. Let's see here. Okay, so the piece with the adhesive on the back is not 12 inches, so we will cut this one instead. So we will have to add adhesive to this one. I will use that other piece on something else. Okay. See, I thought I was being all so smart. So when I cut out all the insides for the flowers, I cut the thin cuts out of that piece with the adhesive on the back. And I thought, oh, I'll just cut a strip to go across the bottom, but see, backfired on me. Okay, and I already have adhesive on the back of this, so that's handy. I will just trim this off from the back. I just need to move a few things out of my way. Got a lot going on here. So it's just much easier, right, to trim it from the underside. So easy, nice and easy to get a straight line. Now we'll bring back in the melon paper. So here we go. Okay, and then like I said, for this upper corner, I have pieces of paper. So I've got a good chunky piece of the glitter paper, and then I have 2 of the patterns, and we'll just see once we get everything laid down. I'll have to trim those out, but that's what's going up there. And then I'm actually going to add a flower up there too. So I think it will be this one. And like I said, I just cut it out with melon on the bottom and then a pattern paper. And then I have a little scrap of the glitter paper there. Okay, so then we're just going to throw these kind of where they're going to go so we can figure out some spacing. So I have the gingham piece and then the polka dots. And then we're going to do the ombre. And then this fun triangle piece. And I think I have enough splatter. I just wanted to make sure that I don't need more splatter up there. I might once I get everything on there, but I can do that. Okay, so I'm going to add these in here. And you could also just do these out of like rectangles if you don't have this thin cut. But like I said, I think I love the little scallop border and the stitching. So this is the ombre piece. And I'm just kind of staggering them a little bit and overlapping them a little bit. I'm going to have the polka dot one on top. So I'm going to put the gingham one back there. But this would be so easy to do with like any paper, right? Any fun combination of papers. So there we go. I'm just trying to kind of make sure the two sides are about the same distance from the edge. And I'm going to do this dot one on top. Like that. Okay, so now I have my photos. And we're going to not do the matte. And I'm just going to do it on the glitter paper. And I used, so they had glitter paper for the photos, and I'm not going to do that. I don't find that a photograph sticks very well to glitter paper, so I'm just using cardstock. So I want my photos in first before I start building my cluster around them. So this is a 4x6. But like I said, I wanted 2 photos at least on this page. So I'm going to do this 4x6, and then I have a 3x3. So the mats are obviously just 1/4 inch bigger. Okay, you know what? We need to check this because I think it's crooked. Sometimes because my desk is counter height. Oh, for sure it's crooked. Look, guys. Sometimes it's hard because I'm not actually above the layout to tell if things are crooked. So here we go. So now there we go. Now let's see about there. There we go. There. Okay. That would have made me crazy later. Okay. So this one we're going to do about here probably. And then I have my 3x3. We're going to go right like something like that. And then we have our little melon. You're one and a melon. So we need some 3D foam tape. These are not stuck down yet in case we need to move some things. So I'm not sure, we might move that lower. So here we go, we have a flower that's just melon on the background, and I'm going to add this. So the fun thing about these thin cuts is it's super easy to add them together because there is some distinctive marks on them, so you can tell exactly where it fits in. And if you don't see it right away, you just have to turn it and you'll know when you get to the right spot. Oh, sorry. So, okay, 1 second. Ooh, okay. And then I have this fun glitter center. There we go. Some of these will pop up on 3D foam. So I'm gonna kind of trim a chunk off of this one. Nope, more than that. Thank you. Okay, so that one I like, and then we're gonna do this one out here. About 225. Nope, it needs to be shorter. Something like that. Then we have this flower. And same thing with this one too, right? It fits in perfectly. So it makes it so easy. And this one has a very distinctive marking right here, so it's super easy to figure out how to put these layers together. You could also very easily go into Cricut and cut flowers, but like I said, I wanted to not pull out my Cricut and just play with die, because I was already cutting these out with the die cut, right? So, and like I said, I love the stitching. There's, I don't know, you can't see it on the glitter paper, but there's even little stitching on the centers, which is very fun. Okay, we're gonna have something like that. And then we have a leaf here. I'm gonna give that some dimension in a second, but we'll put together a few more of these flowers. I love the polka dots. Oh my goodness, so cute. And who says everything has to be like a real color, right? And I did do all the centers with the glitter paper, but you could totally switch it up. And there's really fun insides that end up like with like lots of just flyaway almost pieces. So this is where we're starting. And I did do the flowers with the light side of the melon. The leaves are the regular side. So I just played around with, even though they're all the same color, right? You got some variation just by the sheer fact that they're like the true side or the light side. So we've got this in here, something like that. And then I'm just going to add these ones down here. And I don't think I'm going to use that. But we are going to trim out a few of those just plain ones. And we're going to do some stamping into each of the little clusters too. So you could also very easily, I'll show you how to add a little bit of dimension to these flowers. I need a center here for that one. Maybe we'll use this one. Like I said, I just used, when I was thin cutting, I just used like my spare piece that had the adhesive back on it. So, and then by adding this center, right, it makes it look different than that flower, even though they are the same. And then this one, I can just add. So I'm going to add this piece right here, which came out of there. And maybe we'll add a sequin or two in the middle there. So I'm going to add a glue dot. To this one. And add this in there like that. So something like that. And then we've got our flowers and our heart here. So I'm going to add my melon polka dot heart somewhere. I want to add, I think, a few journaling strips right in there. Is my plan. So just quickly cut that out. That's super cute. And then I'm going to add a few of these flowers. So when they did them, like I said, you could totally go look for flowers that you wanted. So they did like a 6-petal flower and then a smaller version of that. And then they put these little ones that I'm just about to hand trim out in the middle. I'm just going to add them into my clusters here though. And then there's this little arrow that says love this. So I just did it in 2nd generation melon also, and then I stamped in black, obviously, the love this, and I'm going to put that in here where the journaling strips are going to go. So just like this. So right in there. I'll just grab my journaling strips. I love these. So first, let's cut a few of these flowers. And like I said, you could totally cut these color these flowers, not cut them with scissors, color them with a marker or pencil crayons or your ink or your shimmer brush. Right, like I said, I just flipped over my stamp and it made it super easy for coloring. hoping my Melon Mania arrives Saturday. Yes, I was super excited to see it. It does make me sad though, because always when you see that, when they put the whole color of the year on sale, then you know we're almost at the end of the color of the year, which kind of makes me sad too, right? Because it's gone, but I'm sure there'll be a great new color of the year. So I think we're going to add one into each of the clusters. Because then they're all also different types, right? We've got patterned paper, we've got just the cardstock, and then we've got like a stamped one. I also have melon sequins that I'm going to add into each of the clusters, and then we're going to do some of the little, there's hearts, and that I'm going to pick up. That's the same from the artwork. I'm thinking we might see if we could put one of those little baby sequins in the middle of these flowers. I think that would be pretty. You could also do stickles in the middle of these if you wanted. Okay, so the nice thing about these is, right, you can just trim them to whatever size you want. So my photo, it appears I stuck it down. So I'm going to go with one here. But we're going to grab our ruler because I don't think that was straight. So let's go like here, down, down. Then we're going to add another one. And I'm going to do one more. You can also like pre-trim these on your trimmer. I quite often, like, because I stick to a lot of the same sizes, I can just pre-cut them. You can see here, right, that I've cut right into the backing, and then any piece that I don't use, I'll just put back on here because that's like a perfect size to add the date to something, right? So I could even tuck it up in here if I wanted to add a date into that cluster. Okay, so now we know where that's going to go. I'm going to do this on thin foam tape. Right here. So I'm going to use this to kind of anchor the little cluster. And then I have the heart. So I'm just going to gently curl my leaves. Petals. Oh, and I need, so I'm going to add just some 3D foam behind this one. I need some greenery that's melon colored in here. So we'll add this right there. And then, so I have, like I said, this is coming in the next idea book. So I'm just going to, I need some, here. So I'm just pushing, rolling the leaves almost with my bone folder just a little bit, just to give them a little bit of texture. So I'm just breaking down the fibers so that they move just a little bit. Even just by like that much, you can see you kind of get a little bit of more dimension there. So I think we'll have one like over here. No, I do not like that. We're gonna do, just gonna curl the petals just a little bit. I actually should have cut some of these out in pattern paper. I bet I would have liked that a lot. So this I'm going to add 3D foam to. And then I can tuck my leaves in where, once I have those down, then I can tuck my leaves where I feel better about them being, instead of trying to. So I'm just adding it right in the middle, right? So I can then tuck my stuff underneath. And if I have to, I can always trim off parts of it. And there's little ones too. So I actually think now that I have this down, I might like this a little bit better. So, and I am going to trim this because I don't need all of this. So I'm just going to take a few off the bottom so it's shorter. I'm going to add a glue dot, and then I can kind of just tuck it in where I need it. And I'll tap it down. I got glue dots going on everything. So, yes, I like it shorter. That's much better. Okay, then we have this. I'm going to add 3D foam to. As well as the little flower. And for sure, I'm going to add a little white sequin in there. So let's get another little branch here. That one. Same thing. I'm just going to, I actually like to do this on my Versamat the best. So, but I don't want to flip this one because we've got so much stuff down on it. So there we go. You can also do this with like the end of your piercing tool or anything rounded, really. See, it just makes it so much easier to actually do it on your Versamat. So I'm going to put this one in here, and I actually don't think I need to add anything to keep that in there, but we are going to do some stamping too in that little cluster. So there is this heart, or this heart. I think I like this one the best. But you can see I've lost all my splatter. So I think we're going to add some splatter black back in there. Here it is. So I'm going to do this. kind of just put some on my block here. There we go. That's better. And maybe a little bit more down here even. I'm just being careful. This will also dry like lighter, same as the ink. So where's my lid here? Okay, so I will stamp in here, but we're just going to let that dry for a little bit. I'm going to add my banners up at the top. Well, getting ready to leave for work and picked up my phone to greet this amazing layout and can't wait to watch the whole thing. Awesome! It is very pretty. Thank y'all. That's where I think we're going to do that one. Okay, so I have this and this. We will do some 3D foam. And just a little one on here. Okay. I need to move this out of my way. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll show you too, right? Like this is just my piercing tool, and because it's got a rounded edge, it's super easy to do this too. So I'm just really rubbing the leaves a little bit, and then they get some dimension. I'm going to do a second one for up there just in case we need it, because it's the biggest one up there. There we go. Love the added touches, Chris. Thank you. So here we go. I'm kind of feeling, guys, like I want another flower up here, to be super honest with you. So we're going to have to see what I have left in my pile there. But maybe not. Okay, we might be okay. Because the other flowers that I have are big, and I don't think I want, oh, maybe I could tuck that in the bottom there. Okay, we're going to do that. I'll have to add a center after to it, but I'm going to tuck it way at the bottom. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do this one flat, and it's going to go way at the bottom. I'm going to gently move this. So, just like that. Okay, and I'm actually going to put this photo on thin 3D foam. So it just pops up just a little bit. And if I'm worried I'm still going to tuck stuff underneath, I could totally just leave the 3D foam in the middle. I think we're going to be okay though. I'm not sure if I said in the beginning, but there is only one photo on the original, and I'm not a one photo. I know lots of people are. I'm just not a one photo on a layout kind of person. This is kind of, two would be like where I would have to be kind of like my minimum, I think. But everybody just do you. Okay, so then I'm going to do that one in there. Sorry, the 3D film sometimes takes some time. But so the fun thing about my daughter super stands out on the photos because of her navy, or not navy, but denim. There we go. And then this one. But it's super fun, even though everything is literally the same color. It all kind of just comes together nicely. So, okay, we've got this flower. Okay, we're going to just add a tiny bit. See, I knew I felt like it needed another flower, and I actually did have one. So, but we're not going to use that one. No. There we go. And we do have a few big blobs, but that's okay. That's bound to happen when you're splattering after the fact. Okay, so now I have my little heart here. And I'm going to flip this over. See, I could tuck this in here. See, that's what my original plan was. I don't know where that went. It got stuck obviously onto something. Okay, I'm feeling like I need to clean up my shimmer brush though before we have an accident. Okay. So my melon ink. Tina says, this is beautiful. Thank you. And then Kim says, I just finished up my daughter's wedding album and there's a few pages with just a picture or two, and I definitely get the most out of my pages. Yes. And like I said, there are totally circumstances where a picture or two is just either A, all you have, or B, like it's something you just want to focus on. So obviously there are instances where there would just be a photo or two on a layout. Okay, so one there. Sorry. You're welcome. And then one here, like that. I think I'm going to just stop. I think I need to put another one, but I'm not sure yet where. So we're going to stop with that. But now I'm going to add in some sequins. So I just have the melon sequins, and I'm just going to add them on glue dots. And like I said, I want a few of the really small white ones, and we're going to add them. Oh, or there's the really small melon ones. How would that look? No, I want the white ones. I want some contrast on here. So we're going to add those to those little flowers that I stamped. And I think I need the micro dots. There we go. Because the regular one, I think, is just a touch too big for that little teeny tiny sequin. So I'm going to add white ones to those small flowers, and that's perfect. And I actually need one of those flowers up there too. So I'm just gonna tuck it in. But whatever I'm doing kind of in one spot, you'll see I've got it in all the spots, right? So if there's glitter here, then there's glitter in here, and there's glitter up here. That's why I'm feeling like I need another one of those hearts. But like I said, I want to make sure I'm putting it in the right spot before I actually add it. I could take one of these and put it up in that top cluster. That's what I might do. Make another one of those. We will see. That I'm going to add right there. And I just need one more little sequin for that. And then I'm going to add just like a few scattered into all the clusters, and then we're going to call it done, guys. Okay, so the rest I'm going to put on regular. Those are my micro over there. So I'm just going to add a few. And it kind of just gives you one more texture there, right? And brings in the white and melon in a different kind of way. I love the iridescent ones. They're my favorite. Iridescent on any sequin mix is always my favorite. So I'm sure you've heard me say that once or twice before. So I want something smaller up there with a big one. So we're going to go like that, and then whoops, like that, and then tuck one right there. And so now I just need to add some down here, and then we are good to go. So I will photograph this tomorrow, and I will add some photos here, and then I will also be adding some photos onto my blog. And like I said, for anybody asking, yes, there is a workshop with Melon Mania coming. Just have to actually have it in my hands to be able to. Thank you, Kim. So I think that's pretty good. I think that might be where we call it done. So that was a fun one. I actually super have enjoyed the Chris-ifying of the layouts. It's been a good little challenge. I might actually add this flower on there later too. We'll see. We'll see. Sometimes too, it's always just good to walk away and then come back and look at it again. So as I said, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and you all have a great day, and we'll talk to you later, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you very much. So I'll put you down on my desk for a second too, because I'm gonna. So I called in. This was my Mother's Day and birthday gift from my family, this photo shoot. And I called in all my gifts, I think, for the next year to get them to come with me and do it. But it was tons of fun. It was like super fast. It's like they do like a pop-up Mother's Day thing. And so it's like 20 minutes. So, and actually the reason I wanted the photos is because my daughter's getting married next year and doesn't live here anymore. And then my son is in armed forces. And so he comes and goes. And so it was just like a total fluke that they were both here, and I could get a booking for the pop-up. And then the worst thing is, so the one photo that was probably the most important to me was the two of them together, and it's like the only photo she didn't take. And of course you get swept up into the photo shoot, and it's like you only have 20 minutes. And thank you, Tina. And so it didn't happen, and I'm like, I can't believe that was like the most important shot to me. So they actually are going to give us another photo shoot, so when they have another pop-up, we get to, or at least the two of them will get to go. But he hates having his photograph taken, so this was like a huge deal for me to get these ones already. So it was tons of fun, and like I said, well worth calling in all my gifts for the next year for. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.